Hey guys, TapDawg here, and today I'm going to go through Mr. Andersam's deck optimizer to show you how to use it and just the basic features of it. Let's dig into it. Alright, so when you get the most recent copy of Mr. Andersam's deck optimizer, when you first open it, this is what it's going to look like. You're going to see three different columns: the black column, which is your library, the blue column, which is your deck, and the green column, which is your suggested items to add to your deck. Now when you first open this, it's going to have some pre-selected cards in there for you. You don't need to use those. You have two options. If you've used Mr. Andersam's deck optimizer before, I'm just going to call it the deck optimizer from here on out because that's a tongue tie. But if you've used his deck optimizer before, you can actually copy and paste your old deck into this new one. So let me show you how to do that first. So I'm going to jump down here to another copy I already have. And what you're going to want to copy is you're going to start in column 12A and scroll down until you get to your very last card. I happen to have almost 100 combo cards, so I'm going to go all the way down, and you want to copy until you get to your last card, column D. You'll hold down Shift and you'll left click, and that's going to select all of the relevant information that you need. Then you can copy it, either right click copy, or you can just do Control C, which is copy. Then you're going to go back to the new version. You'll click into 12A once again, right click, and you're going to want to paste the value, which is the second option here, or you can do Control V as well. Either one will work. And then that will put all your cards into this deck. Now conversely, if you've never used his deck before, it's very simple to add your cards. You're just going to need to put in a little bit of information. So in the very first drop down here, you can actually see a list of every single card. So you can start typing in the name of a card and it'll start populating here, or you can open up this drop down menu and select your cards. So I'm just going to paste my deck in here to kind of start us and show you what to do from here. Okay, so now you've had your whole deck put inside, and what you're going to put in is the name of the card, the level the card is at, if it's fused or not, and then how many of that type of a card you have. Now, if you happen to have a fused version of a card, so let's say you have a fire that's fused and you also have just a level 5 fire, you're going to want to have two separate entries for that. One that has yes marked for fused and one that has no marked for fused. So make sure you keep that clarity. I'll show you an example here. Villain. So I have one villain that is fused and one villain that's unfused. So rather than having one entry for it and putting yes for fused twice or no for fused twice, I have one entry that's yes once and one entry that's no once. Why is this important? Because this optimizer will actually give you upgrades or increase the relevancy if a card is fused or not. And so you want to make sure you're marking yes or no if the card is actually fused or not, so it gives you the most accurate score for that card. So after you've entered in your cards like so, you're going to go to the second section, which is this deck area, and you're going to select one of your cards. Again, when you click into this first section, which is column 12G, you're able to select, and what it's going to do is actually select just from your library, your available cards. Now, how do you select what card to choose first? I like to choose one of my higher cards, one of my most powerful cards. Now, you can go into your actual game on your phone and see what your highest attack Onyx card is, or you can just choose a card that you know is a really strong one. I'm going to choose my my Space Onyx because it's a fused space and it's got a lot of good combos for me, and I just like that one. So I'm going to start typing in Space Onyx. Let me see if I find it. Nope, I did not find it. So if you don't find it, no worries. All you have to do is go to your drop-down menu and scroll down till you find it. Oh, there it is. So I'm going to select it, and you'll know it's in there accurately because the second column there, column H, will have the actual name of it in the column. It'll have the correct level for it, and if it's fused or not. Now, I do have it fused. Oh, see, this is my bad. I haven't changed it to say yes here. So I'm going to change this to say yes. And then change this to say yes. science real quick and then find space again. There's space. Okay. Let's try that one more time. There we go. So now I've got space on there and it is actually fused. That was my bad. I hadn't looked at my fused or not ability in the last since I've last updated this. Since the last time I've updated my space onyx to now be fused. So that was my bad. So once you've entered in that first card, on the green side over on the right, you're going to be able to see what card it next suggests that you add to your deck. What it's doing is looking at what space combos with the best to give you the highest attack and defense card overall. So for me, my next highest card is Knight. So the nice easy thing is, as soon as I click onto column 13G, Knight will be my first option available to select. And you'll see as soon as I selected Knight, my suggestions on the right-hand column in the green have changed and updated. So how many cards do you want in your deck? Because you're gonna want to fill this in. I personally recommend having about 30 combo cards in your deck, maybe up to 35. You don't want too many because as your deck gets larger, it's going to be harder to get your combos and also to get your final form cards. So the minimum amount you have to have in your deck is 35 cards total. I like to do 30 combo cards, maybe 31 combo cards, and then 5 final cards or 6 final cards. It's a 5-to-1 ratio is the best option. So I'm just going to fill this in and kind of show you how it changes. Be sure to be looking at the green column, and as I add new cards, it's going to update to show me what the most powerful card to add to my deck is. This is where I'm going to speed it up for you guys so you don't have to sit here and watch me do this for the next 5 minutes. Alright, so it looks like I'm all done. I've put in... Oh, I've got one more card to put. Let's see what the last card is. Magic. Okay. So, I've updated my deck here now, and I have all of the cards that it suggested in here. As you can see on the right-hand side, it's now given scores to all these cards. So my Spirit card is actually the most powerful one in this deck. It makes the most combos. It gives the most highest attack and defense rating. But it'll give you a list here too, so my space is pretty high up there, so that was a good card for me to select as my first option. Next time I might want to choose my Spirit card first, and that'll give me a slightly different deck based around Spirit rather than against space. But why don't you try this out and see how it works for you. One other change you can make on the Settings tab, right now I'm in the User tab, I can go to Advanced Controls here. You can change your fusion buff. What this is how much of a buff a card gets in the terms of power for the optimizer, if it has a fusion or not. I personally like to have this down a little bit more than 200%. I want to show you at 200% because that's what the starting sum is when you first open this. Some people might have it only at 100% where it's the same as if it's a regular card, but I don't think that's right because I think a fused card gives you a little bit more value. So maybe 125 or 150% is a better number, at least for me. For you it might be different, but as you can see if I go back here, I've got a lot of silver combo cards in my deck here because of their fusion buff. So it's just an idea for you to play with that, see what you want it to be. Like I said, I personally like to have it at 125 to 150%. But that's just a basic way to use Mr. Andersam's Deck Optimizer. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please thumb up, like it. Leave your comments and feedback if you want to see something else. I know Mr. Andersam himself is going to go into more detail on how to make this super customized to exactly what you want it to be. But I just wanted to give you a quick overview so that anyone who has Excel can open this up, spend a few minutes, and improve your deck. Both Andersam and I really want to see more people in the top. We want to fight some new guys. We've been fighting the same top 20 guys for the last year. So we want to see new faces, want to see new strategies, and we want to see you up there too. Alright, that's all the time I have today. Hope you enjoyed this, and thanks for watching Little Alchemist Helper.